One of the main features of the game is, of course, the power of Max. She is able to rewind time.
We knew we wanted to do something with the rewind mechanic that we had explored in Remember Me, and we started thinking of what can it mean in another context, and we started to bounce ideas around. Very soon this idea of choice and consequence and being able to rewind them came about. You know, what does choice mean when you're able to rewind through them?
We really wanted to have the player feel powerful also with this power, and to really feel that he can change the things and come back in time.
The game could exist without the rewind. It could be an classic adventure game, really interesting, I think, but this new layer allows the player to have a different experience, be able to see the direct consequence of a different choice. You could be happy with the outcome of the first episode, how it ends, and regret maybe later your choices and wish you had do something different. The player will want to have several walkthroughs to make sure they see all the outcomes.
When you're dealing with some time travel, you need to define clear rules in order to be sure that it's working within the frame of your story of your game. And also we needed to create those rules to have some really fun uses with puzzles and mechanism for the player.
Chloe, you're stalling.
I'm changing! Give me a minute!
Just don't let me in, now. Please.
1 second! I'm changing! Give me a minute!
Please.
1 second! My bra is stuck!
I'm not screwing around, soldier. Chloe, open this door.
So the idea is when Max is rewinding, she's keeping every knowledge she has. A bit like in the movie Groundhog Day, when I just spoke to you, I rewind, I remember everything you told me, and I can use it again when talking to you. Max is also keeping everything in her inventory. Like if she puts an item in her bag, she's keeping it with it. So I can grab something, go back with it, just rewind, and I still have the item even if I rewind it back in time.
This kind of rules, we use it a lot for puzzles and also to tell something about also the characters. Even in a dialogue puzzles, you will have some information, but those information will be related to the character. And we've made a lot of tests about the rewind and should Max keep those information, should Max keep those items, should Max be rewinded herself by when she rewind. We have made a lot of tests about this and we finalize those rules. It allows us to have very interesting puzzles and very also funny situations in the game with those rules. Max is not moving when she rewinds. This is also for the player something much more powerful to be in a scene, to rewind the scene and to see all rewinded instead of being rewinded. Of course, we keep this rule since the beginning, nearly the beginning.
The guys in the beginning were saying perhaps it could be better not to have it in the game, but we insist and we find the proper solution. And also for the artistic style, it's great. It's so crazy to see it, and Max also from the beginning, and what she is now is amazing. The work they have done is I'm just happy. Yeah, it was my little input and they have done something great, so it's magic.
It's all about finding solutions to problems, because when you design a mechanic, it never works in the first time. So even though it might sound cool, like the rewind gameplay, it's only when you put it in the game and you test it and then you find that it's flawed, that you can iterate again on it, and that's really cool to improve stuff that we've designed before.
The rewind power is giving nightmares to developers and to level designers, but at the end it's a very powerful tool for Max and also of course for the player.
I remember a lot of design discussions the guys had, very complex discussions about the impact of the rewind, what you can do, what you cannot do, how the player will understand the rewind, and yeah, it's a challenge because as this is something that doesn't exist, it's science fiction, you have to make it consistent.
At first, when I started production, the scope of the game was pretty small, and we were like, only 2 or 3 designers on the team, and by the time when time passed on, we were like 10 designers, and we cranked really the quality of the game.
For the player, using this power is really something unique because you can rewind all a scene, so all the animation of a scene, all the particles, all the effects of a scene, all the sound of the scene.
Can you give me an example of a
Man, I
photographer
cannot
who
believe
perfectly
this.
captured the human condition in black and white?
Okay, if I'm crazy,
Anybody?
I might as well go all the way.
Bueller?
Can I actually reverse time?
Since Max is a photographer and the visual of the game are linked to this photographic feeling and also nostalgic feeling, for the rewind effect we developed some new post processes and new visual effect, looking like the film is burning when you reach the limit of your power, when Max is getting some headaches because she cannot rewind further in time, or when she's rewinding we have this double exposure feeling, like two different times are overlapping or framing at the same moment. So we are using all those visual effects to give a nice feeling with the rewind, to really show the player that is going back in time, and to be something quite rewarding and really cool to look at when you're rewinding.
The camera burn effect is present, and there is an overlay of light leaks, like in a broken camera, and it presents a twirl effect. As if the celluloid, the film, is twisted away before burning. We add on top of that a layer of burning, and this is achieved by using screen space particles that overlaps. During this effect, Max is rendered as a blurred ghost, and the blurred effect is composited on top of the scene, but slightly offset, like it was a composition of photography. What we want to achieve is to see a reminiscence of Max. It's not the actual Max, but to overprint a ghost of what she has done previously.
It's still a story of a character with a rewind power, so there is this story arc that is quite sci-fi, but there is also all those elements of real life that we wanted to deal with, and that's why the game is called Life is Strange. It's also something that's really important for us to talk about those real characters and real issues with that some of our players might have experienced themselves already.
Seeing people play the game will be the best reward. We've made some playtests, we've seen people giving us their feedbacks, and as soon as you see someone doing a specific thing that's a part of the gameplay that's not mandatory, you see people explore, people enjoying small stuff, smiling, having fun. It's the best feeling you can have.
Life is not always so easy. Life is strange, and so you have to grow. And I think the game will help people grow, and I think it will help also video game to grow in a way. It's perhaps pretentious, but we want to bring the independent video game to our industry, and I think there is a huge place for it, and I think it will be very successful. Thanks to Square Enix, who were the first to believe in the project.